couldn't find quiet. I went out in the rain. I was just soaking my head to unrattle my brain. And somebody said you disappeared in a crowd. I didn't understand that. I don't understand now.
Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. This is, of course, going to be a scent safari episode. For those of you who aren't familiar with scent safari, it's sort of where I look at a house that I have some interest in and ask them if they're going to give me some samples. And if they do, I pick 4 of the samples. And then the day I do the video, I sort of spray them on my skin the beginning of that day. And then right before I do the video, I spray them on my skin again. So I sort of get a full day of understanding how the fragrances will do. And then right before the video, I get another sort of feeling of the top notes of those fragrances. And the reason I found this house, which is called SP Parfum, is because I was just really online on Lucky Scent, not Lucky Scent, Fragrantica, looking for licorice notes. And I found this house and I reached out to this house. And the house is called SP Parfum. Before we get into these, let me give you some background information. This is a house started by a gentleman named, and I'm sure I'm going to butcher this name, I'm very sorry, named Sven Priscole. And this is a man who has over 20 years experience as a pharmacist, a chemist, and self-taught perfumer in Germany. So this is a German perfume house. And this is what Sven says about his house. More than 20 years I deal already with the fascinating world of fragrances. Reference books until I began to compose their own scents. Between tradition and modernity commutes Pink Patchouli, my first perfume in 2006. In subsequent years emerged more than 200 formulas, of which I have the honor to introduce my darlings in the essential collection. Each of the 10 essential fragrance SP is made by me in small numbers and manufacturing the highest demands on the quality of the raw materials used. Each of the 10 essentials is in an elegant 30 ml spray bottle provided with a handwritten label, and also the boxes it served is a depository of teas and herbs before, reminiscent of my background and also a bit of the good old days too. Now, he launched his collection of 10 scents this year. All are available in his website, which I will link to in the description. They come in 30 ml bottles for about $140 US. Let's go through the presentation, and then the 4 of these. The discovery package comes in 2 boxes. One is a wood box, and the other is a fresh box. And they're sort of very old school apothecary style boxes. And then the actual fragrances come in little spray bottles. Now, as I said, I picked 4, and then Sven also gave me a copy of his book about fragrance, which is written in German, as he told me, but I still think I get the basic gist of what he's trying to do here. So we have 4 fragrances to talk about. The first one is called green tea, and the notes on green tea are going to be bergamot, lime, grapefruit, green tea, amber, woods, and white musk. Now, I really enjoy tea fragrances. Tea for Two by Olivia Jacobetti for L'Artiste and Parfumer is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. I really enjoy the Bulgari Haute line. I would love to try their black one, which I don't believe is available in the United States right now. I think that's one is super hard to get, but of course I love their green tea version and the white one and the red one. This green tea interpretation for me is super fresh. You get a huge blast of citrus and then a pretty stout base of woods and some amber. For me, this isn't like a deep tea note. It's more airy. Almost, this is sort of for the SP Parfum fragrances that I've sampled, this is almost like an SP Parfum sport fragrance, but much more interesting and just a much higher quality than a normal sport fragrance. There is a nice sweetness to this one. As it dries down, I almost get like a green tea panna cotta dessert vibe to this one. A lovely creamy sweetness, and this one has a super performance for a green tea fragrance. I'm really enthralled by this one. I think it's really interesting. Something I highly recommend people who like sporty tea fragrances or lighter tea fragrances checking out. The next one we're going to look at is called Licorice Vetiver. And the notes on Licorice Vetiver are oak moss, woods, patchouli, cypriol oil, labdanum, vetiver, amber, licorice, citruses, green notes, and ylang-ylang. Now, this one is just, it's an insanely high quality. I almost get like a toasted, earthy, rooty vetiver. Maybe that comes from the combination of the vetiver, the cypriol oil, and the labdanum. So like a toasted vetiver with a very natural licorice note. It's buttery smooth. I have to be honest and say this is the best licorice fragrance that I've ever smelled. For me, that was previously held by Kerosine's Black Vines. And that one's sort of just like licorice on crystal meth. I love Absinthe by Michaz. I love Absinthe by Nasamato, but this one is beautiful. This is a nuanced licorice with a smoky vetiver. It's special. The combination of notes here to me is brilliant. The blending, there's some resins here, a touch of white florals. There's almost an animalic quality in the use of a ylang-ylang. I really enjoy this one. I think it's just really, it's beautifully done. I would describe it really as a toasted vetiver with very natural licorice. The next one we're going to look at is called Lignum Vitae Forte, which I believe translates to the tree of life. And this one has notes of leather, sandalwood, musk, patchouli, cypriol oil, labdanum, guaiac wood, jadamancy, and palisander rosewood. Now this one has just a shitload going on. It's one of those scents that's so well blended that it's difficult for me to pull apart. I'm smelling it now. What I get is leather, labdanum, woods, and patchouli. I like this one. I really do. I think it's a quality men's fragrance. I think it's a throwback to sort of 80s perfumes made for men. But for the other three that we're looking at, I think those are more unique than this one. I've smelled fragrances like this one many times. There's a couple Serge Lutens fragrances I feel like I could reference. Again, stupidly high quality here. I like this one. I don't think it's bad. I think it's a beautiful mix of the notes I've mentioned. I just feel like it's not as unique as the others for me. The last one we're going to mention, I had to go to this one last because this is the most hardcore of what I've smelled for this video. Is called Sevet Intense. And this one features notes of Sevet, green notes, and woodsy notes. And guys, wow, just intense animalic notes with very strong, almost burning green notes. You know, I used to be very into smoking marijuana in cigars, and this very much reminded me of being there with really good marijuana and having its at the end almost of the cigar, the burning green and the burning tobacco. For whatever reason, I know those aren't the notes in this one, but if you like animalic, challenging fragrances, good luck doing better, because this one is damn near perfect. Strong animalic notes tempered perfectly with some light notes. I dig this one. This is the one. If I was going to buy a bottle from this, I'd probably get Licorice Vetiver first, because I'm a hardcore licorice fan. To do a review on, I'd do that one, and then I'd probably get this one. There's some green here, maybe a touch of citrus peel. I don't know. I feel like that, and some burning woods. And the performance on this one, as good as anything that I've ever smelled in my life. Red Oud by Montal is really a top performer for me, and this one is probably better than that one. This is a 24-hour juice. So what is my takeaway on this house, on SP Parfum? You know, it kind of taught me a lesson. When I actually did more research into this house, I found that Sven was like a really passionate dude who was just very cool with helping me learn more about his house, sending me his book, even though it's not written in my language. I learned that Luca Turin, who's someone obviously that, you know, I own all his books. He's anyone who tries to review fragrances probably was at some point at least inspired by Luca Turin, what Luca Turin does. And I learned that he is very fond of Sven's creation. So it just shows you that explore more. You never know what you're going to find. And I didn't think I would find this. To me, and I hope this isn't an insult to Sven, but to me this is this rather obscure German house, and I've found something so lovely and someone who exudes so much passion and loves his craft so much. And I really want to implore my subscribers, you know, there's almost 3,300 of you, please take the time to look at what this man does. I'm going to link in the description, of course, to his website. You can purchase one of these sample packs, and there's so much craft and attention to detail in these fragrances. The notes used, the materials used are just top of the line. This is just a man that loves what he's doing very clearly, enough to write a book about it. And I really want you, because I don't feel like this gets any attention, at least in the circle that I'm in. I want you to give this some attention. I want you to give this man some of the care that you have in fragrance. I want you to translate that to him, and show him that you respect his interest, and get yourself at least interested in what he's doing, because I think it so much deserves it. This guy has, you know, a collection of fragrances that are just so expertly made and that perform so well. You could tell the percentage of essential oils in these is just off the charts. So there's something for everyone here, I think. So again, I will link the description. Let me know what you guys think of these. Let me know what you think of the review, if you're interested in these now. And I want to thank Sven for sending me this beautiful package that he did, and I hope you're enjoying these Sensifari videos. We'll have more this week. And guys, I want to thank you all so much for watching. My name is Maximilian, and I must know.
Am I the one you think about when you're sitting in your favorite chair drinking pain?